Hey guys, welcome to my Battlefront 2 beta review. Recently, about a week or two ago, I got to go out to Stockholm, Sweden. I was invited by Electronic Arts to go ahead and play the beta before it was publicly released.
So welcome to DICE, guys.
What they did for us, especially how they kind of set up the scenario for the beta. First, they had us in this little meeting room telling us what we were going to do. And all the game modes and what their intention for this game was, and it was, you know, to make it better, to make them more immersive, more depth. They heard a lot of the feedback that people had from the first game, feedback that, you know, was pretty critical. I was not one of those people. I actually enjoyed Battlefront 1 for the whole year that I played it, and I like what they're doing with the second game as well. So first, they kind of sent us through this whole system that we would go through, and it's kind of like the natural system I think they want a casual player to go through the game. First, they had us go through the arcade mode, which is an offline single-player solo mode, where you basically go there to get acquainted with the controls, like get acquainted with the class system that they have, because they're all very distinct classes now.
Good luck,
You get acquainted with the heroes, whether that is like, you know, Super Battle Droid or Darth Maul himself. By the way, Darth Maul is super awesome and very fun to play as. So we played that for about an hour, and then they had us move on to Strike, which is their like small team. I believe it's 8 versus 8 small map battles, which is some of my favorite from the first Battlefront. The smaller maps I felt were more effective than even the big maps, especially the Outer Rim DLC. I think that was my favorite DLC for sure, and that definitely, the Strike mission that we got to do on Takodana was really cool. So Strike is really cool. It's basically capture the flag, but it's only one objective. Not both teams are going for a flag. Only one team's going for a flag, and one person or one team is defending. I got to mess around with a few classes. I like the jetpack trooper, and I like that it's more specialized now. I tried doing the sniper, but I'm not very good at that. I'm sure that takes a little bit more time and a little bit more skill. But I do like the new class system because, especially not so much for these small gamer modes, but later on in my review, they definitely matter a lot more, and I found myself switching between mostly the Assault class and the Heavy class. If you want to watch a full gameplay video of me doing super well and having a perfect match in Strike, I have that somewhere linked somewhere in the video here, or, you know, I don't know, you can find it. I have a bunch of videos out today, so go ahead and check those out. But essentially, the Assault class is probably the most well-balanced class. It's kind of the class if you don't really know what you want to do, but you want to kind of do everything well, that's the one you want to go with. The Officer class is really if you're a really good support class. Like maybe you're not very good at, you know, knocking down those headshots or, you know, clearing out a room with a thermal detonator. Maybe you're better at just, you know, maybe enhancing everybody else, like giving them more health and giving them a boost of morale. That's what the Officer class is all about. The Heavy class is some people at the event were saying was a little bit OP. I figured out a way to like get around them. They have very weak flanks because they can't move very fast. But if you find yourself in a very good position, you can mow down an entire room if you set yourself up correctly with the Heavy. There's also this like personal shield that you can use, which completely dampens your movement, you know, as you can see here. But if you can get in a good spot, you can really just go ham with the Heavy. But really, a little tidbit, just this is a secret for you guys. Just use thermal detonators on them. They can't get away from those. The next class is, I believe, called the Specialist class, which is kind of especially what they're called because it's either very long distance or very short distance is what they're designed for. They're not really good for the mid-range battle. They're not really like the Assault class where they're really well-rounded. So if you're really good at knocking down those headshots with snipers, you can definitely play as that class. Or if you're really good at just, you know, having a good position and then you want to do that. I didn't do so well with the Specialist. I'm not a... Can't say I'm a very good sniper player ever in any game that I ever play. But yeah, those are all of the classes. You also can, as you build up your battle points, you can earn heroes and special characters. Like I was saying before, the Battle Droid or Darth Maul or Rey or Han Solo, Boba Fett, all those kinds of people. So I like that system better. I like it that it's not just tokens on the ground and that, you know, as long as you know where the tokens spawn and you're first to get there, you win. You definitely do have to do well on your team, and you have to play the objective well to be able to earn those battle points and earn them fast. So next up, we played the Starfighter Assault, which I must admit I wasn't really a fan of. And actually, that's coming from someone who actually did sort of enjoy the Starfighter Assault in the Starfighter, I think it was called Fighter Squadron in Battlefront 1. And I think that's mostly because I just have to get used to the controls. I can't really judge it too harshly, but the thing I was disappointed with the most is that there is absolutely no boarding of the ships. You cannot do what you did in the original Battlefront 2, and that's, you know, getting on, going from your ship, going from your hangar, and then traveling to your other enemy's hangar in Starfighter, going inside, dismantling their shields, dismantling their turrets, and then going back into your ship and then destroying it from the outside. Now, they do have it more objective based now, and it's a little bit more dynamic in that way, but it's still nowhere near as fun as it was back in the day with Battlefront 2. And that compounded with the fact that it was really hard for me to control the Starfighter, which I think that, again, that's just a learning curve. I don't think I'll be choosing that game mode very often. It is a lot easier to shoot, and you definitely feel more rewarded because it's not an auto aim. So if you hated the auto aim from the first game, that is completely gone. There's definitely no auto aim in this at all, except for, you know, your lock-on missiles and that sort of a thing.
Don't get cocky.
So moving on to everyone's favorite game mode, it's the Galactic Assault. Which is basically everything about Battlefront put into one huge map. I believe it is, actually I don't remember how many players were playing against each other, but it was big enough. Well, actually, if I were to be honest, there was times where you were in the map of Naboo and it felt kind of empty and it took a long time for action to get going. I don't know if that's because there wasn't enough players in our room or what the case is, but I should mention that did feel kind of empty. We'll see how that works out with the full beta that's coming out tomorrow, but other than that, I really liked the Galactic Assault. So much so, I think we only got to play 2 rounds, and everybody was like jazzed to like play again. They're like, all right, no more. Thank you guys, bye. And we're like, wait, we only got to play like 2 rounds. Can we play more? So that's a good sign to know that it played really well. I swear, I tried my best to get Rey. I wanted to play as Rey so bad, but I could not get her. I tried really hard, and they cut the game off too quickly. I did get to play as Darth Maul and Boba Fett. No. Yeah, I think I got to play as both Darth Maul and Boba Fett, which were fun. Oh my god, Boba Fett is really good, guys. Like, he was really good in the first Battlefront 1, but he's still good here as well, especially those, I think they're called the concussive shots, or his new rockets are really effective. I also got some sweet kills with the sniper because it was a pretty open battlefield for Naboo, so I was just at the opening map, I was just like picking people off across the map, which is pretty cool. So that's a pretty cool little tip for you guys if you want to do that in the beta. Just, you know, when you start off as a sniper, and then get a few kills from people who are just like across the field. But it's really fun, especially when action gets going. It really does ramp up, and we definitely wanted more from the game mode. But I think that was all we got to play. Yeah. And there was also some stuff with the single player. We didn't get to play single player, but we got to see like some cutscenes and some more behind the scenes stuff, which I believe is actually publicly online now. So you guys can watch that if you want to. It's pretty much the same thing that we saw, and we didn't see anything extra. But that's really my review of it. I'm actually really excited for the beta. I mean, barring the Starfighter Assault, I think this is going to be a very fun game that I'm going to play hours and hours and hours of. So much so that I am going to be playing the beta this weekend. So on Saturday, October 7th from midnight. That means midnight at 7, like technically, you know, Sunday or Saturday morning to Saturday night, 12 p.m., which will technically be, not 12 p.m., 12 a.m., which will technically be October 8th. I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream of the Star Wars Battlefront beta. Now, this is cool, just one, if you want to see me play the game, but 2, I will be giving away codes throughout the day. So if you want a free code for the PS4, I think maybe Xbox as well, but I know for sure PS4 beta for the Battlefront 2 beta, go ahead and check out that stream, and I will hook you guys up with a code. But that is it, guys. I'll see you guys on the Battlefront. Peace and much love to you.
Disruptor on target.